I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai.
All right, it's the brother Hakagawayam.
Brother Alazar Ben Lawyer.
And we're going to do this quick breakdown dealing with the wilderness, the terrifying wilderness, because in that wilderness, you're going to see the Lord pleading with the children of Israel, all right, the rebels, those that don't want to get down with the new program, the government of the kingdom under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and just like in the old wilderness, they've seen all the miracles, they've seen the deliverance out of Egypt. It's going to be the same way, and Jake still ain't going to want to get down, and they're going to have to get put to death. All right,
Yeah,
so we're going to start with Revelations 12 and 6. Just letting you know that there is a distinction between the wilderness in Ezekiel, the 20th chapter, and the wilderness in Revelations, the 12th chapter. Right?
It's Revelations 12 and 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness.
The women dealing with Israel, all right, Jerusalem, how we had the 70 AD siege, we had to flee into the wilderness, that being North and West Africa. All right?
Where she hath a place prepared of the Most High.
Right, and that place that was being prepared was America, because we went from the wilderness of Africa to the Americas in slavery, all right?
That they should feed her there 1,203 days.
Feed her there with these EBT benefits, feeding us as slaves to keep us working. And it says 1,203 days. That's 3.5 years, representing the 3.5 days, which represent the 350 years of being destitute of our nationality, right? And in this hardcore bondage over here in the Americas, right?
That's right.
Now we're going to get the wilderness that's going to come in the near future, where our people will be judged at. I want to make this clear: no one from America, no Jake from America is getting on the chariot. All flesh on this soil will be destroyed.
Yeah, right? Unless you of the elect and the 1/3 out here.
That's right. Unless you of the elect and 1/3. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 20, starting at verse 33. As I live, saith the Lord power, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you.
Right, and that's talking about him putting us into captivity, putting us through this hardcore bondage because of our sins. All right, go ahead.
And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered with a mighty hand.
Right, and that's talking about the deliverance, pursuant to Matthew and 24, how the Lord is going to deliver his elect.
That's right. And with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face.
Right, so he's going to plead with us face to face. How is he going to plead with us? Read Isaiah 66. Highlight it if you can.
This is Isaiah 66 and 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
Right, that's how the Lord pleads. All right? He pleads by rigorous judgment.
That's right. And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Right, so that's how he's going to plead with us. Those that don't want to get down, those deemed for destruction in the wilderness. Right?
That's right. Verse 36 back here in Ezekiel 20. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt.
Like as he pleaded with our fathers in the land of Egypt. This is the new Egypt, so it's going to be the same manner of deliverance and the same manner of wilderness, then going into the land of Israel, just like it was in ancient. You can get Revelations 11 and 8.
It's Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city.
The great city being Babylon, which is America, we know that.
Which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt.
Spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So this is the new Egypt. You can look on your dollar bill. You can look at the obelisk. You can look at the hard bondage. Okay? But go back to Ezekiel 20.
Ezekiel 20, starting here at verse 37. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
Bring you in the bond of the covenant. That's how you know that this wilderness is dealing with after America. Because we're not going to enter into the new covenant until after America is destroyed. That new covenant will be established in the wilderness when we make the pledge to the Most High that we're getting down, we serve him, we rule with him. Yahweh Shai. All right, now get Jeremiah 31 real quick.
Jeremiah 31 and 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people.
Right. So in that wilderness, he's gonna make that covenant with us, and we're gonna be perfect and bring the 2/3 back through the elect. All right.
Yeah, come.
Back to 20.
Look, where we at? 38. Yeah, 38. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me, and I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh.
Right, so that's talking about the other Jakes, the other Israelites on other parts in the world, not America. Because like I said, all the Jake that's not of the 1/3 in America has got to get destroyed, along with the rest of these heathens in their America. This is going to be the lake of fire. All right, so I want to get Revelations 14, 9, and 10 to show you that no one who is not a part of the elect in America is getting on the chariot. The Lord is going to gather up the Israelites through the rest of the world, and the rest of the world, the uttermost parts of the earth, and then bring them into the wilderness, and then give them the option to get down with the program or get purged out. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, cause it's like you gotta remember, we scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, so we everywhere. We in every country, man. You see what I'm saying? We in every kingdom, and some of these places they're not gonna be affected by thermonuclear destruction. People aren't gonna waste time sending ICBMs to certain of these locations. So the remainder and the remnant of Israel that's there is going to be gathered somewhere, and they're going to have to deal with their judgment. Right. They're going to have to get pled with, you know, and that's what these scriptures is talking about. Revelation 14, starting at verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast
if any man worship, this dealing with our people, all right?
That's right.
Worshiping, believing in American society, which we know all these niggas do over here. Go ahead.
Add his image.
And worship the image, all right? The ways of this place, all right?
That's right. And receive his mark.
And if you receive his mark, which a lot of Jake is going to take the chip, go ahead.
That's right. In his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
So that's just solidifying that no Jake is getting in the chariot over here in America, except for the 1/3. They're going to have to die in the lake of fire here. All right? But we're going to go to Isaiah 66 now. 18.
It's Isaiah 66, starting verse 18. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory.
See my glory, meaning that he's going to gather these armies for the battle, Armageddon, right?
And I will set among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, Pool, and Lud.
Wait, it said I will set a sign among them.
Salakia. And I will set a sign among them.
And that sign is dealing with a miracle, meaning how he's going to destroy these nations.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
And I will send those that escape of them unto the nations.
Right, the 1/3, I'm sorry, really the 144,000. And they're going to go with Yahushua and gather up the rest of the Israelites and bring them to the wilderness.
That's right.
All right.
To Tarshish, Pool, and Lud that draw the bow. To Tubal and Javin. Right. So we got our people that's over in Europe. All right. A lot. Well, actually, if you're paying attention to this immigration, it's thousands of people from Africa that's going into these places. Tubal, Javin, all these places. You know, Macedonia and Greece are one of the main places they're going, and it's a lot of West Africans there that's going there, especially, man. So it's a lot of our people. You can look on some of these. I was looking at some pictures last night. You could tell they look like a straight up African American Negro, man. You see what I'm saying? So some of them might be going over there now just so they could get taken into the wilderness, man. All in the spirit.
That's right.
To the isles afar off that have not heard my fame.
Because a lot of these Jakes ain't going to hear it. It's going to be to the four corners of the earth, but still a lot of Jake ain't going to hear it. They might have heard it, but not even took heed to it. Right?
Neither have seen my glory. And they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles, and they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord.
Bring them for an offering unto the Lord. All right? So the ones that get down, want to get down, which would be deemed to be part of the 1/3, they're going to be like an offering unto the Lord. All right? Now let's get 2 Ezra 13:13 to prove that.
The 2 Ezra 13:13. And there came much people unto him, whereof...
This is after Yahushua destroyed the armies that came against him. All right? Go ahead.
Whereof some were glad.
The elect, because they're in the know. They know the prophecies. They know what's going to happen. They were glad. Go ahead.
Some were sorry.
And the other Jakes who don't want to get down, they're going to be sorry. All right? Go ahead.
And some of them were bound.
Some of them were bound because we're going to go through, pursuing the Psalms 149, we're going to go through the earth and round up the nobles and put them in chains, man. And fetters of iron. All right? Those are the ones that are bound. Go ahead.
And others some brought of them that were offered.
Brought of them that were offered. The ones that said, all right, we getting down. All right.
Yeah, that's right. You know, because like the brother said, we got to remember, like, you know, there was a point in time where even for myself, this whole thing was hard to kind of grasp that you're gonna have Jakes that's gonna be in the wilderness and still not get down. But when you take a look at what our people was doing in Egypt, they saw the miraculous salvation that we had. They actually walked through that water that Moses split by the power granted unto him by the Most High, and they still were having a hard time believing. They still had a lack of faith. So this is something. But you're gonna have some of our people that are gonna get beamed up, brought to this wilderness, and still have an issue with accepting the truth.
Right.
You know,
right.
Because we got a stiff-necked damn people.
Right.
But let me continue.
That's right. No, you can go to
okay.
Skip. We're gonna go to back to Isaiah 60 and 20.
Okay.
66 and 20.
Isaiah 66 and 20. And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord, out of all nations, upon horses and in chariots and in litters and upon mules and upon swift beasts.
Right. Now, what's that talking about when it's what does the beast represent? The beast represent the chariots of the Most High.
That's right.
Because we know that's how the 1/3 is going to get gathered. Read Matthew 24 real quick.
Matthew 24 and 13, and he shall send his angels.
31.
Salakia. Matthew 24 and 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
Right. So that's how the elect is going to be gathered. All right. Not by beasts or ships. That's just representing the chariots. We're going to further prove that in Ezekiel, the 1st chapter, when it likens the chariots to beasts.
All right. Ezekiel 1 and 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, and every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was the sole of a calf's foot.
Sole of a calf's foot, liking it unto beasts. Go ahead.
And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass, and they had the hands of a man under their wings and their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went, and they went every one straight forward.
It's dealing with the so-called UFOs, man, who are driven by angels, the vehicles of the angels, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
As for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man and the face of a lion.
The face of a lion. All right, go ahead.
On the right side, and they 4 had the face of an ox on the left side, and they 4 had the face of an eagle.
Right. So the chariots are likened unto beasts.
That's right.
Swift beasts, horses. All right, litters.
That's right.
All right. You look those words up in the blue letters; those are all dealing with beasts, but that's the representation of the chariots. Because that's going to be our method of deliverance, pursuant to Matthew 24 and 31. Now let's get Isaiah 60.
Yeah, this is the book of Isaiah 60. And
I'm going to read it in the NLT version. So
you want to read it first?
Yeah, Con.
Okay. Isaiah 60, 8 to 9 in the New Living Translation. And what do I see flying like clouds to Israel?
Right, so Isaiah is seeing chariots flying to Israel, and he's going to tell you what they are in the next verse.
Like doves to their nests.
Right, like doves to their nests. All right, that's the chariots, the so-called UFOs, the deliverance of Israel. Go ahead.
They are ships from the ends of the earth.
They are ships from the ends of the earth. So he's telling you what these are. They're ships of the ends of the earth, but they're not the ships of the sea. He's just likening them unto it. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, he got to explain what it is. It's carrying people, you know,
right,
from lands that trust in me, led by the great ships of Tarshish.
Led by the great ships of Tarshish, and when you blue letter that Tarshish, it's dealing with yellow jasper. So he's likening these glorious chariots to the glorious ships of Tarshish. All right, so that's what it's talking about. Our people ain't gonna be getting on those ships. The 1/3 is gonna be getting rounded up and delivered by so-called UFOs.
On a damn carnival cruise. We're gonna take a carnival cruise ship.
We're not taking no yachts to the land.
Okay.
Go ahead.
They are bringing the people of Israel home from far away, carrying their silver and gold. They will honor Yahweh, their power, your power.
Right, and I read the NLT version to give a proper context. Opposed to the KJV, all right? And we can go read the KJV version.
Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows? Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first to bring thy sons from far.
Right, so he's likening these flying objects to ships, okay? Now, for the sake of time, we're just going to get 1 Corinthians 15 and 52.
This 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Right, so we shall be changed. Now, some would say, how can the 2/3 get on the chariot and get a glorified body. Well, if we're not leaving the atmosphere, then we don't need the glorified body. All right. So the 2/3 that will get in the chariots will be getting in there to be taken to the wilderness and put to death. All right. So Lord willing, you brothers was edified on this matter. Okay. Say, call all you. How about Shimei Shai?